Tanggalin yung screen. Ayun. So, the first thing you guys might notice if you're coming back, like if you watched our old episodes and you're coming back to this one, is that may bago tayong sponsor. And since we have 4 videos to show from them, let's do one now. Anyway, yung maganda kung pinalabas natin at the start, if they watch it on replay, you'll see it. So, GPU muna tayo. Fairness,
Ingay.
Grabe.
Yun lang masabi mo.
Colorful yun, pare.
In fairness, sa production value. Sup, Jose Maricarl? Thanks for joining us.
Ayan,
Madalas
makulit.
rin si,
Makulit
madalas rin si
yan
Jose
eh.
Maricarl, di ba? Sa
Sa
Sota.
mga anak ni Rocky.
Sup, Moniker? Sup, John?
Ito na yung mga anak.
Mga anak.
Kasi mga regulars nata to eh. So, ayun. We don't have any set questions unlike before. Uy, parang biglang bumagsak na lahat. Yes, I haven't been able to do a lot of streams, Jose Maricarl, kasi yun nga, I just had a new kid. So the last time we did Pwede Magtanong, wala pa siya. But he just got born last month. So, nandun na siya last month.
Naku, hindi
Okay,
alam
so
birthday.
obviously, obviously I'm confused. Obviously I'm confused about my when my last kid was born. Tama si Kaiser. Great sponsor. Kaya pala puro colorful stock ng shop. I wish
Yun ang case.
naka-subsidize. I wish subsidized yung GPUs na yun. Pero although kasi they're at a good price, naka-promo yung colorful ngayon for everybody, not just for Hardware Sugar. So we took advantage na nag-stock up kami. But we will be getting our usual MSI and Gigabyte GPUs. Sup, ITX Addict?
Grabe
Napansin
yung rig.
na,
Grabe yung rig niyan.
Ni ITX? Which
grabe.
one?
Ay, oo nga pala, no? Which one nga?
Sa supad. Yung may yung may yung may
delicious,
EA.
the delicious one.
Yeah. May water block sa loob, grabe.
Tapos dami pa niyang, Sup, David Go, dami pa niyang stock sa atin.
Oo nga, sir. May bago ata kanina eh.
Oh, it's just waiting for you, ITX Addict. We got may parating. Pero may parating pa siya. Don't come over yet. Hindi pa kompleto.
Hindi pa sorry, go.
That was just
ayan na.
Yeah, like a legit question. Magkano po gastos for beginning graphic designing, video editing setup? Ren, you want to start with this one? Although di ka na beginner, pero the first rig, in fairness, the first rig we got for you, hindi naman din beginner.
Hindi, sir. Yung first rig ko sa inyo was worth 50K for... And
Full ba yun? Full build?
Opo. And it's a mid-tier na kaagad.
Yeah.
Pero dami natin problema dun sa
graphics card ba?
Sa
graphics
plugins.
card. Opo.
AMD kasi, no? That's yung 5000 series.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And
diba?
yung...
500 pa yan. 500.
RX 580, yung luma ko. Naginamit ko rin pang mining.
To Sapphire pa yun, sir. Saka yung current na rig ko ngayon, I think nasa 75 onwards, 70K. Parang ganun na po yung worth.
Yeah.
Or more, yata.
I didn't know that, but I think we might be overspending on your gear. Ba't mahal nung...
kulang pa nga eh.
Kulang pa.
Sobrang kulang na nun.
Ren does good work. If our sub-editor or like our... we have like, Ren is our primary editor, then we have an intern right now. Baka if he's watching, he might think na he should also get hardware.
Actually, sir, nakausap ko nga po siya, si Matthew.
Kamusta si Matthew?
Sinabihan ko siya regarding the 2K video and sabi niya, try daw niya kung kakayanin ng laptop niya. So, medyo nagkakataon na ako ng Baka
Ah,
hindi kayanin.
is that why the first video was in 1080p, yung output niya? Baka,
Opo. Sir?
oo. Yung una kasi niyang video 1080p lang eh, hindi siya 2K.
Opo.
Ah, okay, baka kaya siya
Opo.
nahihirapan. Well, may
Yeah,
2080 Super naman tayo sa shop and
expensive na yung ano eh, yung
oh.
video editing talaga eh. Very expensive na siya.
Pero kung, let's say, yun nga, to go back to John's question, for beginners, you can have a integrated graphics and then, I mean, kung pa Photoshop, and then like basic video editing setup, 1080p, or lower.
Pero huwag siya mag-expect na mabilis yung render.
Oh, yeah.
Yung render kasi pwede naman talagang hintayin
Iwan
eh.
lang
Yung
eh.
preview,
Oo.
yung scrubbing habang
Ayun, Dan.
ano ka.
Yung preview.
Kahit
Ayun.
yung sa akin ngayon,
Dati.
inaano ko na eh, parang half quality. Or
Yes.
you can proxy, yung 'di ba may mga tools eh that you can use to when you're going through your timeline, your editing timeline to make the preview faster. Although even now naka 3700X ako, 32 gigabytes of RAM on 2K videos. Or actually in any video now, half quality ko na lang para mabilis eh.
Di ba kasi hindi siya naka-ano ngayon, yung hardware accelerated.
Well, yung sa akin.
Ayun. Oo.
Yung sa akin, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's peg it like if you wanna just have super basic, you can get away with like a 30K build. You might even be able to get 32 gigabytes of RAM depending on where you get that from. But yun nga, as mentioned, it really ramps up. Like, oh, I want 4K video, 2K video. Oh, I want 64 gigabytes of graphics. It mamahal talaga siya. And Richard, I'm happy meron non-Gilmore shop na maayos at trustworthy.
Trustworthy ba yung Gilmore shops?
Yung premise of the
Uy, meron
question.
naman
Oo,
doon.
parang
Yung ROG na concept store sa ground
it
floor.
just so happens na nandun sa Gilmore.
Although, recently sa shop, nag-troubleshoot sila ng all ROG build, di ba, Jay? Yung mga
Meron,
a month
sir.
ago.
Galing din doon.
Nagaling din doon.
Huwag na natin inuhin.
Oo nga.
Ayun.
So, hindi naman sila yung sponsor natin, ah. So, baka
Ah,
pwedeng...
hindi pa.
Gusto niyo ba,
Hindi
sir?
pa.
Oy, ano?
Kuwalat
ko.
Naglagan na eh. Sup, Mark Lewis from YouTube, also a regular watcher. Vince Joshua. Sige, let's do another tech question. Dane, super nakaka-enjoy itong work nyo. The videos, the builds, yung roast video na from the last state of the art.
Gabi, in-underestimate namin yung willingness ng mga tao eh.
Oo nga eh.
To get into it.
Dami tao.
Dami, grabe. Ang daming nag-send. Kaya may part 2 pa.
Okay.
Yeah. Talaga kinuha na 2.5 hours kami yung last na stream.
Tapos wala pang half yun.
I was watching this parang and then I came back to it and I'm like, wow, grabe, live pa rin sila. I mean, parang I was jumping in and out. Oh, grabe.
Grabe.
At si Carlos Miguel, ano yung usual lifespan ng isang computer? Sige, I'll go first. It's very hard to put like an exact number, like, oh, itong computer for sure 5 years, itong computer 2 years lang. But generally, generally they'll last a long time. I mean, assuming na okay naman yung voltage sa inyo, like it doesn't fry. Assuming like medyo hindi ka malas sa mga parts. I mean, kasi even from good brands, sometimes they'll fail. But in general, a computer can last you a long time. Just yung functioning, of course, programs need faster CPUs, games will need faster GPUs. Yun nga, di ba the common joke is na we have more computing power in our cell phones than they had on the Apollo missions landing on the moon. So computers will keep getting faster and faster, and designers will have more and more uses for that speed. But just functionality, easily maybe at least 5 years, I think. At least based on my own personal rigs, feeling ko you can fire them up now, even past 5 years. Okay pa naman sila. You guys, oldest PC na lang that you guys have had.
Nabuhay, sir, no?
Grabe, 20. May yung
20
PC namin ng 23 years na. Or
na gumagana?
Yeah, nag-on pa. Kasi yun nga parang medyo weird yung term na lifespan. Kasi lifespan, buhay pa siya. Pero is it like
Worth it.
2000, no?
Magagamit mo
Optimize
pa ba
pa,
siya? Yun.
Athlon pa ba yun? Ano ba yung mga
'Di ano pa like
2000?
parang
Pen
Pentium.
Pentium?
hindi, ano siya, basta Windows, parang Windows 3 pa yata yung nandun.
Di ka grabe naman. Windows 3
Yeah,
pwede.
yeah.
Yung Windows
So
95,
yun,
1995 naman yun.
yeah. So yeah, Windows 3. So parang Windows 1 tapos parang yun yung second na version ng Windows. Buhay pa
Ah,
siya.
ikaw, Jay.
Wala na, patay na yung PC ko sir nung graduate. Yung pinakaluma kong PC, yun yung Pentium 4 na nakuha ng mama ko sa sa office, yung mga tinatapong
Nan,
assets.
ano na, oo.
Oh, gamit ko yun mga ano rin siguro. 3 years. 3 years. Kaso ano na yun second hand is. Parang
Oh,
wala akong masyadong, ano na, yung pinakamatagal talaga. Wala akong figures. Yeah.
ikaw rin, may PC shop kayo di ba? Although medyo bugbog yung sa shop ninyo kasi I assume the kids and the
Yes,
customers.
sir. Opo. I think naabutan niya ako was mag-high school pa lang. So, 12, 13 years old.
Oh,
And
wow.
nag-stop lang yung com shop nung pandemic. So, tas ang motherboard pa nun nasa A series. So, yeah, tumagal din siya mo almost 10 years or more yata.
Walang upgrade yung parts.
Wala masyado,
Sale,
oo.
sale. Ayun.
Wala.
Ayun.
Ba
Linis-linis lang talaga. Tas yun,
Maintenance.
tumagal
Bawal ba
siya.
mag-Yossi sa inyo? Like dun sa comp shop?
Oh, bawal po.
Okay. Yung sa Katipunan parang hindi. So, those things got
Naglalagay
dirt.
ba kayo ng pancit
Uh,
canton sa ano?
yeah. Ano na lang nandun no? Razer, Sir Anton, gawa po sana ulit ng video about sa exaggerated reactions or super techie na tao. I actually that was one of my favorite videos to make. And also from a technical point of view kasi what happened? Teka. Okay. Kasi parang like it's like me then I have to act so parang there are different camera angles so you have to kind of figure it out and then yun nga yung exaggerated reaction. And then kasi we do get like it's constant yung mga comments sa YouTube na, "Oy, tanga ka pala eh. Ganito dapat 'yun." Or ba't mo ginawa to? Ano, or
Nalasa
yung
brand yan.
oo.
Pareho lang
Oh my
yan.
Oh,
God!
yung mga ganyan. Oh, so there is a lot of material kumbaga. There is a lot of material to do it. We just haven't gotten around to it. So generally, parang I don't wanna puro negative. But we like internally, we often circulate amongst ourselves like, "Tima, tong comment na to," or ano. But but we don't. It has been a while since we've done a video like that. But personally, I did have quite a good time making that video. Um, Tanong ko lang po from Carlos Miguel. Oh, sorry, that's the old one. Eto. Muhay Gaming. Old motherboard, kapag na-installan ng Win11, magsa-shutdown ang system. Old motherboard, may TPM na ba siya? You need TPM
Yun yung
for
question.
May system
Win11.
requirements yung Windows 11 na hindi lang TPM. Like may amount ng RAM, tapos may amount ng cores.
Speed ng CPU.
Yeah, so there are hardware considerations na
Limitations
involved.
yeah.
Yeah, oo.
So, depende kung gaano ka old. Kasi
Hindi
like ang daming ang daming pwedeng old eh. Pwedeng
Yeah.
old pero like B250.
50,
Yeah.
Old 'yun pero alam mo 'yun, medyo kaya-kaya pa 'yun eh.
Oo.
Pwede kong mababypass yung TPM and nababypass naman talaga siya. Pero yung old na Pentium 4 na motherboard yun, talagang ano siya, mahirap na.
Tsaka, well, ako aminin ko na never pa ako di pa ako naka-win 11 eh. So, ma-TPM na yan. Parang sakit lang yan sa ulo, especially sa shop when people ask us na, ba't di ko ma-upgrade to win 11 bago naman computer ko galing sa inyo? Or, yung recently, may isa, in-update namin yung BIOS, tapos nag-win 11 siya, tapos may TPM warning. Then he had to do something with the BIOS. Anyway, parang
Kailangan niya lang i-enable kasi by default naka-disable yun.
di ba?
Kaya sir, meron kayo nun for sure eh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, pero okay naman yung Win 10 eh. Papag-isipan ka pa yung ano. I'll have to think pa about the new UI and things like that. I cannot anymore. This one was actually already answered by Kaiser, but basically yung tanong Crossfire, the GPU and the integrated graphics. Crossfire is when you used to link two graphics cards together. So AMD was Crossfire and Nvidia was SLI, di ba?
Yeah. SLI.
So back in the day, you could have two graphics cards, most preferably of the same type and of the same brand. So let's say parehong 1060 or 1080 na lang. And then you could run them in parallel, run them at the same time, tapos tutulong yung isa't isa. Hindi siya times two but you get more performance than instead of just having one GPU. Although as
Parang
mentioned by Kaiser,
yeah, close to 14% yata yung maximum
na increase over
na-increase yung
plus
performance.
14%.
Yeah.
So ang layo dun sa ano, it's not even plus 50. It wasn't
Yeah.
even plus 50.
Yeah.
Although for yung mga mayabang at mayaman, yung gusto lang talaga nila na mabangis yung setup. Syempre naka SLI ka or Crossfire back in the day. Or the way I did it, second hand pareho. So yun, nakamura ka talaga like Crossfire RX 480s. But it was graphics card to graphics card. Hindi siya pwede GPU to
Yeah.
CPU to onboard graphics GPU. Yeah.
Meron nung ano, like interestingly, may motherboard sa pwede kang mag-ano yung parang ipa-pass through mo papunta dun sa integrated na graphics card yung output ng video card mo. So, kung ayaw mong dikitan
You
yung
wanted to use the ports of the MOBO.
yeah.
Pero
Like
dummy pass-through
very,
lang siya. I mean, there's no added ano.
yeah, tsaka ano siya, super specific na use case yun. So, kung halimbawa meron kang multiple na GPUs na ano, na like for virtualization, yun, pwede yung gawin. Tapos interestingly, yung Crossfire, between Crossfire and SLI, yung Crossfire yung maganda yung driver support. AMD. As in, sobrang grabe no, yung errors nung sa SLI noon. Yun. So parang ang pinaka-viable lang na ini-SLI noon yung ano yung Titan series, which is yung parang 90 series ngayon, 3090, 20 or whatever. Basta yung Titan yung tawag pa dati. Pero yun, sobrang daming driver errors. Unlike sa Crossfire na almost mag-work out of the box siya.
Rocky the programmer kasi is very dubious of AMD drivers Kaya ano, yeah, it's an irony na ano. Na dati. Dati. Adrian, sup? Good evening. Kaiser, ito rin. Isa pa yan?
Si Adrian ba yung nag-suggest? Siya
Oo.
Yan ang may pagana.
About the
your regrowth, sir.
in fairness, thank you for the idea. Although these guys really jumped on it. They're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get the Discord going. Let's get the Discord going and then let's start roasting. Although parang feeling ko yung nag-roast lang si Rocky Yung mga parts na kita ko si Ren, very ito, aesthetics, 8 out of 10. Si Jay, parang, ito, maganda naman yung setup, yung parang, yung desk talaga niya, parang bagay sa computer, parang ganon. Si Rocky lang talaga yung yung walang makundangan na
Pero nagbago yun nung dumating yung ating Lord and Savior na si Moonlight. As in, yung buong chat kasi pati yung pagkatao ni Moonlight yung inaano. Kasi online siya ngayon
Tapos na yung regrowth yung kanya-kanya pinag-uusapan.
Yung sobrang maalikabok, yun yung
may cup noodle sa taas.
I'll watch that. I won't take one bits and pieces Yeah, but everybody was very nice naman and polite. So,
Nakakatakot din kasi, sir. Honestly. Nakakahiyang mag-grow sa parang makabalikan kami nito.
Tsaka they could be in the chat, di ba? I mean, parang it's kind of weird, But if you submit it to something like that, di ba? You want to. Yeah.
Kaya
walang pikunan.
Sport sila, sport. Good
sport. Yeah.
5950X. Feeling ko naman, sir, nagkaroon na po kami ng training for the part 1. Sa part 2, feeling ko din na kami all out.
Ready na.
Opo.
To answer Kaiser's question, 5950X for Ren when actually nag-price drop na si 5000 series ni AMD.
Yeah.
And we've gotten some comments in the chat or in the sa Puwede Magtanong forum na ang mura nung 5600G ninyo, totoo ba to? Legit ba to? My favorite question, legit ba to?
Nyo ba kami?
Oh, yeah. My favorite question. Anyway, so the 5950X has actually quite dropped down a lot. But We'll see when Ren baka pag 8,000 series na yung Ryzen.
Saka na magkakaroon ng
Hindi
5950.
ako 3,000 series na yung kay Ren ngayon, di ba? Or 2700X?
2700 na.
2700 pa rin,
2700X.
2700 sir.
grabe.
Okay, baka
Maybe
I
you want
should
to consider.
ba- baka
Kahit yung
ibigay
ano eh,
oh,
kahit yung 5600 sobrang laking upgrade na yun for Ren. Kahit
X ah.
5600X,
ay
kahit
X.
600X.
5600X
Kasi yung iba
yan.
yung 5600 eh. May
Oo.
malaking
Gen
difference.
3 pa yun eh.
Yeah.
Well, if we can convince Rocky, my brother.
Kailangan may upgrade na.
Dito sa stream pinag-usapan.
Pero kung mag-upgrade tayo, di gusto ko like every 3 days, parang tapos na yung video, then parang pak, parang sunod-sunod na yun. Kahit yung mga mahabang videos. Ay, Ren, may bago pala akong video idea. Sabihin ko sa'yo off-stream. Gusto ko, sorry. Gusto ko every month may parang isang long form. Kasi bibili ka 2022, the second hour, 20 minutes. Yun, that did well. The brand video is like 37 minutes, I think. That also did quite well. So parang goal ko, like new goal, at least one long video a month. Pero ikaw yung kawawa doon kasi ikaw mag-edit eh. So maybe you do need a 5950X.
Yun na.
Thanks, guys.
Here we go.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go.
From Lolalbu, who is a frequent commenter on our YouTube channel, is putting 46 of 8 GB RAM good, or will it not work due to dual? Because I want to use the dual channel. I want to use all of the 4 DIMM slots. I would still go with the 4 sticks. Like if you want to use all 4, so for 6 of 8, 32 GB. But like if it's just 32, why not just go to X16 so that you can also save the space in the future? Like if you want to add more 16
Baka
slots,
meron na siya.
16
Baka
RAMs.
meron na siyang
You want to
dalawang
add, yeah, just want to
2x8.
add 2x8.
Mm.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, go for it. Unless kayo, may reservations ba kayo?
Will still work. No,
Tsaka
kapag kahit
dual channel pa rin yun.
kahit
Kahit
4 slots
apat.
yun.
Kahit 4
dual channel
ginamit.
pa rin yan. Hindi mawawala yung dual channel sa 4 DIMMs.
Kasi yung kaya siya may labeling na A tsaka B, di ba? Kasi yung dalawang A tsaka dalawang B, tig-isang channel yun. So, yun yung dinudual channel.
So if it's AA and BB is what you're saying.
Parang
Naka-dual
A1,
pa rin yun.
A2, B1, B2 yung tagging nila dun sa motherboards. Yeah.
Okay, we've hit the 20-minute mark, and so wala na akong segue kasi bago yung sponsor, di pa ako nakiisip. But enjoy this video, guys. To be fair, the production values of the teaser stinger videos are quite quite good.
Maganda.
Parang na-hype ako eh.
Tsaka like, kahit wala na yung ganun-ganun, ang ganda talaga ng colorful.
and we're not saying this
legit,
because
yeah. Yung second best na 3060 Ti sa kanila eh. Yung di ba? Yung advanced OC.
Yeah. Tama.
Ano ba yung GPU mo, Rock? 3060 Ti?
3070 Ti.
Ti.
Na
okay.
iGame.
Kasi the one they sent over is 3070 eh. Anyway, sige, like baka kailangan mo mag-downgrade muna habang bine-benchmark mo and stuff. But from Richard Pacheco, ano pong good replacement na mas maganda sa Seasonic Gold X Series 850? Seasonic is already a pretty good, like, again, it's about the brands. They have a good reputation kasi they're one of the few PSU brands that still make their own PSUs. A lot of them outsource it na lang. Although, as I mentioned nga sa brand video, surprisingly, maraming bumabalik. Di naman marami, but relative to how many we sell and based on their reputation, I'm surprised na, that number have gone back to us. But generally, Seasonic, katapat niya FSP, which I'm using now in my own build. Corsair also, RMX series, is pretty good. HX, if you want to go higher. FSP, Corsair. Actually, Deepcool also is cheap, and their PSUs are pretty good also. We've sold a lot of the gold series nila, 80 plus gold na DQ 750 something. Okay sila. And I say that surprisingly kasi hindi sila sikat for their their PSUs. Pero okay si Deepcool. Any other brands na or particular models na you guys wanna recommend for Richard?
Ano ba yung sa'kin? Yung
We're
Silverstone, yung sa'kin, yung
Silverstone?
Silverstone,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh.
yeah,
matino
we're not
din.
I'm not personally using EVGA, pero yung 1200 watt
EVGA.
natin, yung EVGA 1200 watt natin sa stores. Matagal na yun. Oo, hindi pa ako nag-work sa Hardware Sugar, ano na yun, PSU na yun.
Pero in
Akin,
fairness
akin
na
yun
ano
eh.
yun, 'di ba? Na RMA
Oh,
yun eh. So
na-RMA
like
yun eh.
brand new yun na ano.
Dapat.
Pero isipin mo, like,
Mm.
2020 ako nag-start sa Hardware Sugar. Nandun na yung power supply na yun. Tapos ilan na yung bumubog dun sa power supply na yun.
Nabagsak ko pa yun.
Oo.
Tapos
Marami na.
Hey,
Marami
what? Ano
What?
tong ano
hindi ko
tong
nabagsak. Joke lang. Hindi ko
na.
nabagsak.
Physically.
Paano ko mabagsak? Grabe laki-laki. Paano ko mabagsak?
ang laki nga nun compared to ano, when you start seeing it compared to the other ano.
Pag nalaglag mo sa paa mo yun, may injure ka eh.
Yeah. No joke. Oh. Usual suspects EVGA, Sonic, MSI, FSP and Corsair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, I have a soft and Deepcool. I have a soft spot for Corsair even though last year
Mahal.
nasira yung and mahal din. Nasira din yung PSU ko. Although matagal na rin yung Corsair na yun and then when it broke. So, I don't know. I have a soft spot for Corsair power supplies even though they don't make their own power supplies. As many people were kindly pointed out in the comments dun sa brand video.
Natanga na naman kayo, sir.
Yeah. Given na yun eh.
Lagi na lang eh.
Hindi
Laging
ko
mas
na
matalino
hindi ko
sila
na
sa ating lahat.
I don't know eh. But to be fair, joking aside, I do learn a lot. I mean, not from some comments, but some comments are actually quite helpful. They add to my understanding. That's why I still like going through the comments and then kung may kasama na talaga yun, di ba? It's the internet. I mean, it's like asking, you're gonna go out in the rain and complaining you get wet. I mean, ganun, that's really life on the internet. Recently purchased Deepcool LS520. I think that's a 240 rad AIO, no? Yeah. Actually, the only thing I don't like about Deepcool is it's very clear with the other brands. Like, you say the number and then parang alam mo anong size ng radiator. But now they've done all like LS520 and LS. Ano yung sa atin sa shop? 720 ba yun?
LS720, sir.
So that's a 360 rad. So
it's 500 na di mo alam kung
it's kind of confusing.
620, yeah.
But I think the LS520 is a 240 rad, no?
240, sir. Yeah, 240.
So what case do you recommend? Na 2K to 3K budget? Macube.
Yeah, Deepcool din.
Deepcool, yung Matrix.
Matrix, maganda.
Maganda na yung ano.
Yep.
Kung makakakuha ka ng old new stock no Matrix, etong sa akin, yung yung 40 blah 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 blah. Maganda siya eh.
No, yeah, wait, but ano yung model nun? We used to sell a lot
Add
of that
RGB, parang ganun.
Something.
Add RGB for whatever.
Matrix 55, yun yung malaki.
Ayun, yeah.
Sa akin yun, 55.
Yep.
Pero depending yun sa motherboard niya, kung anong size ng motherboard niya, doon siya mag-ano.
Yes, yeah.
Pero generally Deepcool.
Deepcool is solid.
Yung Macube, may tayo sa site.
Deepcool nga
Deepcool yun. Okay.
Although a lot of people like techwear, we used to sell techwear, but then to be honest, sobrang sikat na ni techwear, they don't return my calls anymore. Or like gusto ko para kawawa nga ako eh. Parang pa-order naman. Sorry, sold out na. So that's why we stopped carrying them because we used to stock them, but
baka nagtampo yun.
Hindi,
baka kayong masama, sir.
Ha?
Baka may nasabi kayong masama.
No, wala. Ako pa. No, we've never done a techwear review video or something. Generally, yun nga. Actually, sometimes at the store, I look at the case and I'm like, maganda ba to? Fractal design ba to or something? It turns out to be techwear kasi magaling sila mimic.
Yeah, tama.
Parang they're very tapos yung clones nila or design inspired by other brands. Maganda eh. I mean, for their price, not bad. So I have nothing against techwear. But they're so in demand na parang actually kausap ko nga si Gerald tapos feeling ni Gerald may pina-prioritize silang ibang stores na could be
Yeah.
kasi
Eh,
syempre
kung
maliit lang
mag-order
naman
kasi
tayo.
tayo, parang 4-4 lang.
Wala naman tayong budget eh. Marami na yung
Hindi.
4 eh.
Hindi, wala tayo kasi space.
Well, that too.
Punong-puno na yung case space natin dun, grabe.
Wala na maupuan yung customer.
It
Actually,
wasn't
kahit
supposed to be a case space.
yeah, that was supposed to be functional. And then kahit sa ilalim ng sign natin sa shop, ang dami na nakatambak doon. Yung half
Yung
mismo
hamster
kasi
nandun,
na yun eh.
no?
Na 20,000 peso case eh. Reklamo pa. Adrian, kung magpapabuild ako ng tower sa inyo, but I already have a mobile, CPU, and GPU, then I buy all of the other components sa inyo, do I have to pay for the service to build or free na lang din? Our policy is if the majority of the parts are from us, it's free. But if you already have the mobile, CPU, and GPU, tally natin guys, so that's 3 parts. You still need to get the case, the
Case.
PSU,
the drives.
RAM, yeah, and the 2 kinds of memory, the RAM and the storage. So that's 4. Okay ka na. And the cooler, sige. If you buy all of those, yun, the majority of the parts are from us.
Wow.
Libre pa
Libre
rin.
na.
Yeah, libre pa rin.
So yung dami. Hindi
Basta
yung
majority,
cost.
we don't wanna make it super complicated anymore. I mean,
Mm.
we can go granular and do the cost or whatever. But to be honest, it's really difficult to I mean, diba, parang let's just keep it simple. Parang no need to complicate things. Well, actually, yung buhay ko yung nako-complicate kasi nagreklamo si Gerald sa akin na, "Sir, baka dapat mag-charge na tayo kasi daming nagte-take advantage eh." Oo. Tapos ako naman parang, "Oh, di, okay na yan, Gerald. Sige, okay na yan." Ituloy mo na yan. But we do try to keep joking aside, we do try to keep the pricing simple. Kasi we don't also like to be that kind of shop na nagkakwenta lang nung lahat. Oh, ginalaw namin itong wire na to, 50 pesos to. I mean, di ba, parang that's also not a fun shopping experience.
Kailangan natin kumain eh.
Yeah, no. Di mo ba nakita yung video? Di na nga natin binabayaran si Jericho eh. Di ako si Jaden. Sobrang kawawa ni Jaden. Kawawa si Jaden.
Andun din ako.
Magpapagamot pa yun,
Mamalabas
sir.
nga ako.
Magpapagamot pa yun si Gerald. He needs the money.
He needs the money. No, but the diet will be good for him. Yung medyo, cut back. John from YouTube, kung sa inyo magpa-build, magkano po kaya shipping?
Naku.
Each part kasi is already labeled, but usually like a full rig to Mindanao is around 2,500 to 3,000. A little expensive, pero kasama na kasi yung insurance doon. So we don't leave anything to chance, and shit happens. I mean, this is our country, these are our couriers, and believe me, ilang beses na sumakit ulo ko following up with those goddamn, like sakit talaga sa ulo yung mga couriers. Kasi basically, hindi na namin kasalanan. Ginawa na namin lahat ng trabaho namin. Sobrang ganda ng build. We shipped it out on time. And then it's just really frustrating when somebody else screws up. But the shop has to bear syempre galit din si customer and understandably na nasa na yung build ko, ano nangyari dun sa computer ko. So syempre, babalik siya sa amin. We need to follow up with the courier. So that's why all of even yung point-to-point dito sa Metro Manila, like you're in Cavite or in Quezon City, wherever, lahat yun insured na. The full builds. Yung individual items hindi pa. But eventually, we do also want to transition to that. So, a little pricey, pero you get what you pay for talaga and it pays to be, cautious. Parang nawala na ako sa chat.
Yung kay Memphis Snipe. Is there any price recommendation for high quality wireless mouse? Is it worth settling siguro for Fantech Helios or Ractalan? Or should I save more for Viper Ulti? Or maybe even Logitech Superlight?
Kayo, mas mahilig ka sa perifs.
Logitech.
Pero maganda yung quality.
Ang layo.
Maganda yung quality ng talan eh.
Is that the rack one? Yun ba yung rack?
Yes, sir.
Ractalan.
Ayoko yung ano niya eh, yung basta may yung ano niya, yung clicker niya, yung plastic nun ang nipis eh. Para akong nagpipindot ng ano.
Ano na lang,
membrane.
depende na lang sa kanya kung ano yung prefer niya.
Mm.
Kung gusto niyang dumiin talaga yung premium perifs na pangmatagalan, super light, talagang solid yun.
Mm.
Pero kung
O
gusto mo
kaya
ng
ano, yung MX Master, yun yung the best na mouse
cooler
ever.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
MX Master talaga.
Okay, sir.
Yan. Pero kung gusto mo ng
Hindi,
mabilisan, like yung gusto mo nandyan na agad, yan. Yung mga local brands dyan.
mm. Hindi,
Deep cool,
ayoko pa rin.
matinding deep cool. Kaya mo
Actually,
yan, ganda.
may ilang taon na tong Logitech, it's a G602, I think. I also always go wireless. Ayoko nung wired kasi parang feeling ko nahihila pa minsan. Like, so the cord is here and then, parang I just don't like it's wireless for me all the way, especially for mice. Yeah, G602, sobrang luma na nito. Recently, I got the what's the thing inside? The switches. I got the switches replaced. Although I am trying now for another sponsor, itong Daisu. Dare you. So it's
Sa
a
Daiso, yung
it's
Japanese
a
store.
like pinulot ko lang sa sa shopping sa shopping mall.
88 pesos lahat.
It's
Actually,
so colorful.
yeah, it's not bad. I've been using it for a couple of days. It's much lighter kasi built-in yung
Battery.
battery niya. Kasi ito double A Logitech.
Mabigat.
Um,
Mas gusto ko mabigat.
mas gusto mo yung solid na ano?
Mm.
It's also meant kasi to be something you can bring with you na like to work yung or
Mm.
sa school parang ganon. So it's not bad. And then we'll have a video coming out next week on where you can buy this online. I'm not pushing it. I'm just saying that there are a lot of options out there na decent naman aside from the ones that sikat na rin sa atin like yung nga yung rack or Steel Series Steel Series or ang dami kasing periph brands eh. So it's really hard to keep up. Of course Logitech, Cooler
Glorious.
Master,
Glorious.
Glorious. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I lost na my mouse. Yun. Okay. So, thank you always to Kaiser for answering a lot of the tech questions in the chat. Actually, itong pwede magtanong nag-devolve na into 20% complaining about customers, 20% complaining about the online comments we get, 20% just like internal talk like, oh, naalala mo yung customer na yun na ano.
Nagko-confess ako na may nabagsak ako na RAM.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Diba?
Confession.
So it's like only 5% na lang.
Ayun.
We actually answer tech questions. But yun nga, but thank you. Joking aside, thank you to the guys who are in the chat and who do answer the tech questions. Because to be honest, it's quite difficult to uh, take it like to get a question and then like to answer it and then by the time we've answered one, ang layo na nung chat kasi people are also chiming in. So it's a little difficult in this format. That's why we do really encourage you to check out pm.hardwaresugar.ph, hwsugar.ph, the forum, so that it's easier to answer tech questions there. And if you guys want to plug the Discord, ano ba ginagawa natin sa Discord natin ngayon? Ito yung dalawang
Marami kami
uh,
ginagawa.
ito yung dalawang maestro natin sa Discord eh.
Marami akong
Oo.
ginagawa.
So,
Actually, yan lang. Ang dami kasing nagde-Discord eh. Na like,
Maraming users in Discord.
oh,
Yeah.
so parang, alam mo yun, parang less barrier to entry. Kasi may account na sila dun eh. All they have to do is join. Tapos yun.
Kung gusto nyo sumali sa amin minsan, naglalaro kami dun eh. Sali kayo.
Dahil, sumali na kayo.
Pakinggan nyo mambuli si Rocky. If you want her.
Oh my God.
Niyo.
Ayo, yung nagda-drive.
may nag-comment, may nag-comment na nga.
I'm addicted to upgrading, but just the case.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Sir si Tenshi Zero, like, sumali lang sa amin yan one time sa Discord. Nanood siya, and I think we're pretty close na.
Si Tenshi, sir, ano sa membership?
Binubuli na yan ni Rocky talaga, sir. Like, honestly.
Hindi, grabe naman kayo. Cool yan si Angelo.
Is he a YouTube member? Parang I remember. Tama ba?
Ayaw ko, sir.
Discord.
Ayun, yun pala, yun din, sige, pag-usapan na natin after the stream. Ito, ginagawa natin.
Yun nga, di ba? Parang naging
meeting yung
naging internal ano na lang eh. Mag-tech question naman tayo. Or rather, shop question. Always open? Yes. Every day, 9:30 to 4:30. Including weekends. And sometimes holiday. The general rule is except holidays, but sometimes even holidays we're open. But we'll announce naman on Facebook if we're if we are open on holidays.
Pag hindi tinatamad si Boss G pumasok.
Oo nga eh.
Uy,
Nagme-message lang ako sa Slack, "Oy, sino pwede pumasok sa Rizal Day or something?" Tapos wala na sumasagot, oh. "Ay, sir, may plans na ako."
Nasasaktan ako. Natamaan ako.
na, bato-bato sa langit, pero
Oo.
no, but actually, I like it when nobody volunteers. That means I can go to the shop and do like a live from the shop. Gusto ko like ako ka lang mag-isa kapag live from the shop eh. Nape-pressure ako pag may customer sa likod and then like the guys are there. So I do actually like my downtime in the shop na ako lang mag-isa and then I'm thinking, okay lang kahit nagba-bankrupt yung shop, masaya naman. Sino naman yung mga GPU na yan, di ba? So, sino naman isip na dati na gano'n.
dapat din yan sabihin in front of your employees.
I'm preparing you guys for the worst, okay? Kung biglang mag-email na lang ako one time na, sorry guys, the jig is up and we need to, move on with our life. So, but I do actually really do enjoy like mag-isa. Like, even in Giho. Giho was also a nice shop to be alone
Yeah,
at.
it was such a nice shop.
Yung vibe eh.
Yeah.
Although, yun nga, at least dito, mas, we have a lot more space. And okay, and the parking. At least I don't need to worry about parking anymore sa new space. And the guards are also, mabait yung guards sa new place natin. Although mabait din naman yung ibang staff doon sa old place. Like si Kim, okay naman yung si Kim eh.
Si Kim sir mabait. Yung guard nangangaway kapag hindi nag-park na maayos.
Kapag paminsan nga tumatakbo like naka-park ako tapos I know may customer tayo. Ako na lang umalis eh. Tumatakbo na lang ako kasi alam ko yun nga hassle sa building eh. Okay. I swear, let's do a tech question. Oh, sorry. No, but before that, let's another shop question. We do actually if you're a customer of Hardware Sugar, we let you, or you can give us, you can send us your old parts and then we will put them up. So they're in the store. We have a Google Sheet and then they're open to the public. And I mean, the Google Sheet is open to the public. And yung maganda doon, it's already in the shop. So kung may buyer, yun na yung wala nang meet up tayo sa Pasig sa McDo or something. Diba? Parang ganon. It's a lot, mas di ka kakabahan. So, there's a legit third party, intermediary between the buyer and the seller. So you can just send us the parts, but you do need to be a Hardware Sugar customer. Cloudburst.
Pero we don't extend yung no frills warranty.
Di naman galing sa atin.
Kanya-kanyang warranty na yun, guys.
Sino tong Cloudburst? May babaeng dumaan sa likod ni Sir Anton. Parang nakakatakot.
Baka yung asawa niya? Kasi doon yung asawa niya.
Sa bahay niya?
My wife is very shy. Like she doesn't, like if she knows when I'm streaming. Oh wait, there she is nga. She's gonna be so annoyed later na she sinara ko naman yung pinto Anyway. Alright. Ikaw Red, baka you can answer this because you have the but 2700X yun sa'yo, no?
Is R5 700 lang yata.
Anong use niya?
That's really, yes, as Jay pointed out. Depends, right? I mean, kung office computer yan, sure. More than sufficient.
Yeah.
But
kung gagamitin mo yun sa video editing, yun sa production, like what is Ren doing, yung 2700X ba yun Ren?
R7 2700.
Kung 2700X, medyo hirap na sa 4K rendering. Medyo lang. Hindi, hirap na rin pala. Nagka-crash na nga pala yun.
Hirap na.
Hirap na. Depende sa use. Kung gaming lang yan na 1080p, baka kaya pa rin. Pero yung mga AAA, mga Valorant, mga competitive titles, kaya pa rin yan. Pero kung yung AAA, hindi rin ba AAA na medyo CPU intensive?
Kaya pa naman niya yata.
Especially if you can get it now for a good deal. Kasi syempre, naka 3,000 series, 5,000 series, and then we're about to hit the 7,000. So that's like 3-4 generations behind. You could probably find a good, or we actually have in the shop, diba Jay? Mobo, pati R5 2600, second hand, 6,000 pesos for the bundle.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Which,
bago pala yung dating, parang bago lang ata yun.
Bagong second hand sa atin. Yeah.
Bagong dating.
Although we have sold a lot of the second hands. So I'm personally happy about that kasi I'm a big believer in maganda pa naman, madaming parts na second hand, maganda naman. And so everybody wins. The seller gets some additional income. The buyer gets a good part at a reduced cost. It's less impact for the environment because we're reusing instead of having to produce new stuff. So ako, even for my personal rig, my graphics card is second hand, my AIO is second hand. Ano ba bang, well, and then my storage is second hand from my old rig. So kung kaya, and yun nga, again, it's something, we're a shop, we should be selling new stuff. Yung pinupush namin, dapat bagong stock kasi wala kaming kita dito sa second hand marketplace namin. But as human beings and as PC, component enthusiasts, better if you can find good second hand. That's the way to go. I saw a shop question, pero nawala na.
Ay,
Bastos
may
yan,
kamay
sila
ngayon, may mga hunter na yan.
It's a trap.
Sure.
Yes, please, Jerome Cruz, please visit Hardware Sugar very soon. We're open 9:30 to 4:30. We're in Makati on Chino Roses.
Baka daw Chino Roses today. Kaya,
I passed there in the morning because I went to the shop. Okay, okay pa naman.
Hindi naman nung umuwi ako. Hindi naman ako nag-jet ski.
Ngayon baha na daw eh.
Bana. Nagbabaha kasi dun sa may
There's a certain part.
Sa may Sanlo dun sa kanto.
Yes, yeah. Yung tsaka medyo rin sa Little Tokyo, banda dun sa area na yun, paminsan baha. Sige, let's look for like a super hard question from...
May nagtatanong about ayan, sige mo na.
Sorry. We've had some people ask about this in the chat. It's sort of very technical, and you probably might have only heard about it if you follow like Gamers Nexus, who I think actually first came up or first reported the issue na. So basically, you have your CPU here, and then you really have to press down hard on whatever cooler. You want it as tight as possible kasi that encourages the heat transfer. You want to draw the heat out from your CPU into whatever cooler you have. And then the problem with the default or the stock mounting kit of AMD is that una, it doesn't cool properly, di ba? Parang hindi maganda yung pagka-flat, so hindi rin maganda yung heat transfer. And then it's unbalanced, so it might damage the CPU over time. I think is that a fair assessment, a summary of the issues? To be honest, kasi hindi ko masyado nasundan yung particular issue na yan.
Yung kasi nag-system yun dun sa fact na na gusto nilang i-support pa rin yung mga
old socket.
Yeah, yung old na coolers. Pero nag-change sila nung die design. Kaya yun, i-expect mo talaga na merong gano'n. Ang laging issue kasi diyan, 'di ba? Yun nga, yung para mag-dissipate yung heat, kailangan mas malaki yung surface area mo
of the cooler compared to the
so yun yung nagiging issue. Like kasi yun nga, hindi naman sa pinipilit, pero medyo pinilit nila na yung old na coolers gumana pa rin doon sa bagong die design.
Backwards compatible sa
which is commendable of them, pero yun nga parang may issues talaga with some coolers.
Sean Flores pointed out in the chat, yung the Intel 1700 ILM bends the CPU. So yeah, parang their torque, the way they had to kind of engineer it to allow these different types of coolers, yun nga.
Yeah.
Although there are third-party solutions, and we've had people ask us na when will you start carrying them. I'm not sure. Thermal Grizzly ba yung meron na alam kong ano. And then they're not that expensive, like $15 ata or something. But I haven't seen them in the local market eh.
Yung parang mounting adapter.
Yeah, oo.
Yeah.
So
kasi yun nga yung ano rin kasi hindi na siya squarish, 'di ba? Mas ma-rectangle na yung yung 12 gen.
Yung bagong gen niya.
We should ask si Jay na kailang
parang yun nga, mas more on rectangle. I mean squarish na yung 12 gen comparing dun sa old gen na medyo pahaba.
Ayun, yan, thanks for the backup, Sean Flores. Thermal Grizzly and Thermal Right have 1700 brackets. We haven't seen kasi from our local, we do have our local Thermal Grizzly supplier. We do carry the Cryonaut. We tried out their liquid metal one. But I haven't seen that from our local supplier here. Actually, my thoughts are, if you're not into performance, it's okay. Because it's really a temperature issue and a longevity issue. And it's too early to tell about the longevity issue because we've only started selling Intel 12th Gen this year. So, like, yes, you could say that theoretically it might lessen the lifespan. But again, I can't say from personal experience because we've only started selling it this year. We do still, of course, sell Intel 12th Gen. Um, so bottom line, I think it's safe to buy even if we don't have the third party mounting kits or brackets available yet. If in the future, you do want to get that super performance and you want to be secured dun sa CPU mo, baka you can get nga like that a third party mounting option. But right now, yun nga, okay pa naman eh. In fact, we haven't had an Intel 12th Gen build come back.
Wala pa,
Tama ba,
sir,
Jay?
wala pa.
Oh, di
Yes,
ba?
sir, wala pa, wala pa.
Oh. Um, yeah, so again, it's sort of like it's a real problem. It's true, but at the same time, a lot of the tech people on YouTube like to, syempre negosyo nila yun eh, na people get all hyped up na, oh God, there's a problem. Oh God, my temps are high. Oh God, ano. But for the average end user, you might not experience really anything. You might not even know that there's a problem. Um, so for now, I don't see any reason why you would forgo Intel 12th Gen kung yan talaga yung gusto mo. And to
Well, I
hype up,
have ay
ah,
sorry. Go, 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 go.
ganda na ng segue ko eh.
Sorry, sorry.
Wala na. Ito na. Very cyberpunk vibe Parang, although just as a marketing thing, I'm always kind of curious na bakit, I mean, obviously the appeal is like you got a cute girl and then you dress her up in a skimpy outfit and then you put her beside a car or a PC component and that is, of course, attention grabbing. But parang, isn't there a better way to market?
Yun nga eh, parang wala man lang specs yung yung motherboard.
Anong
Alam
ginagawa
mo
ng
yun?
motherboard,
That's not the
Anong
point of the
motherboard?
ad, okay? That's not
Diba?
the point.
Hindi ko alam na colorful yun. Alam ko
Uh,
lang na colorful
na,
kasi natin,
nandun yung
ay naka-colorful.
CBN. Oh, nandun
I-hire
yung
nyo kami.
CBN.
Gagawa
Ha?
namin kayo ng ad. Promise.
Sira rin magaganon-ganon ng motherboard.
Gagawa namin kayo ng ad na may sense.
Although I do like the production. I mean, I dig the whole cyberpunk aesthetic of it. But yun nga, parang it's like, is there a better way to...
Parang
Anyway,
critique yun ng colorful dun sa mga market nila. Na this is what
what
what sticks sa inyo.
wait. There was actually a question specific for Rocky. Parang easy TV or...
Ay, ito.
Best for developing?
MTV, yeah.
Here, yeah. Okay ka lang,
What do you recommend in web development? Should I need? What do you recommend if ever I'm running? Okay na yan eh kung ano yung sa'yo. Kasi for web development, like, ang gamit mo lang naman VS Code, tapos siguro may instance ka ng Chrome. Tapos may instance ka siguro ng like emulator ng actually hindi mo pa nga kailangan ng emulator talaga ng mobile kasi pwede mo namang ano sa Chrome tools yun eh. So hindi mo kailangan ng video card. Ayun.
That's your
kahit like yung pinakamatataas na like plugins for may mga yung kailangan mo mag-load ng 3D models from within a JavaScript environment, for example. Hindi naman kailangan eh. Kaya yun yung pinaka like yung web development sa programming world, yun yung pinaka mababa yung requirements. As in, kahit sa cellphone mo pwede kang maging
Mag-dev.
mag-web dev. Ayun. Sorry, hindi ko ma-justify yung pagbili mo ng video card.
Kung nag-aaral.
sa ano mo, sa misis mo.
Papaalam pa yun.
Sorry.
Tayo siya nagagamitin as authority to ano eh.
Ito sabi nito.
Kailangan eh. Oo.
Programmer daw to eh.
Sorry, wala.
Ito, really like general question. Ano po kaya cause pag turn on mo ng PC, hindi nagla-light up ang keyboard and no display sa monitor? Need pa pindutin yung restart button para mag-work.
Baka
But it works.
nakabaliktad yung ano niya sa reset switch niya at saka yung
yeah.
power
Yung sa loob.
sa motherboard.
Ano, but then, hindi siya mag-on kung gano'n, di ba? I mean, if you're pressing power, parang nag-reset siya. Di ba? So,
Sabi niya kasi hindi nagla-light up eh. So baka totally walang nangyayari.
Walang possible na
nothing at all.
na-blank yung kabilang dulo ng power switch at tapos yung nakasaksak doon sa power switch doon sa motherboard, yung header is yung reset switch. Kaya pag pinindot niya yung reset switch doon.
Yung reset kasi pwede niyang ma-on yun eh. Bawa pinress mo yung reset, yung restart. So baka nire-restart niya talaga.
Or baka sira na yung ano, baka
yung header.
Faulty na rin yung faulty header, faulty yung switch, pwedeng ganun.
Actually, that's one of the yung pagkabit talaga ng header na yan, grabe. Kasi sobrang liit nila. Tapos they're like basically just two metal twine wire. I mean, di ba? Parang prongs and then you have to, nakaka-frustrate din yun eh.
Mga first 2 builds ko dito sa shop nun, dinabantayan pa ako ni Boss G. Sa front panel.
Nagduda ata si Gerald kung may alam ba to?
Alam ba dito yun?
But to be fair, it is quite difficult to get that right. I guess we should ask, like, is it an old PC or a new PC? Kung gumagana siya dati, tapos nangyari na, I mean, and then this happens, baka nga nag-fail na yung headers. You can actually, like mine, again, going back to my old PC, sira na yung power button nun, so I would need to press the power button on the motherboard. Sa shop, yung test bench namin, di na namin sinet up to the power button of the case, so gina-jump na lang namin using a screwdriver, which is actually kind of cool. You can YouTube on how to do it. But to be honest, I always forget which header and which things. I'm always just, di ba, parang twirl around mo lang yung screwdriver.
Ganun mo na lang.
Di ba?
Jump mo lahat.
Papaikutin mo yung screwdriver doon sa head.
Short eh.
Parang cool tignan doon sa mga non-tech guys na galing na mo nito, binuhay na yung computer.
Di ba? Parang kala mong galing na, screwdriver lang, tapos inano mo. Hawakan mo na lang kahit di screwdriver. Would that create a circuit? I guess so, no? With your, But ikaw yung conductor, di ba? Parang ikaw yung bridge, so kamayin mo na lang. Alright. Okay, ito. Auraflow is a cool ID. ID cooling.
ID
sorry.
cooling, sir. ID cooling.
Yeah, ID cooling. Bumili po ako ng Auraflow 240mm. Another brand that we used to carry, but again, we do not anymore because they don't return our calls, actually. Side note. Okay naman yung quality, kaso hindi ko po mapagana yung RGB kasi walang RGB headers yung mobile ko. This is a very common problem, especially for beginner builders. When you look at RGB, you think cool to and I want it, but RGB causes a lot of frustrations. Ang hirap nung compatibility. If you have different brands, will they all work together? So RGB is a real pain in the ass actually. You need to plan about it beforehand. And unfortunately, yung sagot dito, wala. Wala ka ng, if your motherboard doesn't have an RGB header, sorry na lang. I mean, diba? Can you guys,
if I'm not mistaken, sir, kasi yan din yung bago ako nag-work dito, yan din yung AIO ko eh. Yan, specific na yan, yung Auraflow 240, kaso nasira rin after a year. Meron siyang kasamang controller sa kit.
Ayun, so hindi kailangan, okay.
May controller yun, tapos powered yun by SATA. Yun nga lang, hindi siya software, so hindi mo siya mako-control through Windows. Pipindutin mo pa yung physical na
remote control.
Yeah, yan. Meron yan kung wala kang RGB headers. Check mo
Yun.
mabuti yung box, yung mga pack, yung lahat ng kasama sa kit dapat meron yan.
You want to usually the RGB products they plug into the motherboard so you can control it via software and all of the like yun nga yung what kind of color tapos may hex decimals pa yon like ano talaga specific color na gusto mo. Although in this one as Jay pointed out di mo na kailangan isaksak sa motherboard pero wala ka ng control na ganon. Parang fixed colors na siya using the remote.
Yeah. Isang color lang.
Oo. And then a lot of the appeal also of RGB is being able to monkey around with it using the software like what colors and then like what scheme and then yung um like actually yung AI ko ngayon like at what temperature magbabago na siya to red. So maraming functionality dun sa software ng motherboard eh. Sayang if you don't have it. Unfortunately there's no way to kung walang RGB header yung motherboard, there's just no way to get that functionality. It would be nice actually sana kung I've never seen a product, but it would be nice kung para siyang converter, like RGB converter, and then to internal USB. So usually most motherboards have at least one internal USB port. But I've never seen a product like that. So ayun. May
Tayo
converters
gagawa.
too. Actually,
Tayo
yung gusto ko
mag-engineer.
sa shop, para may RGB wall tayo. So lahat nung so yung in one corner lahat ng NZXT fans, isang corner Corsair fans, isang corner Deepcool fans. Pero yun nga, how do you do that without like dapat naka-on sila, 'di ba? Naka-RGB on
Yes.
sila. And I don't wanna have one motherboard for 5 fans. Eh, 'di ba? Parang konti lang talaga yung fans na mapapatakbo mo. I mean, there's a limit. There's a physical limit. Like I don't wanna have
Yung pang demo ng
how do they do that?
either yung may ganun, may adapter rin na like magpo-color cycle lang siya. Tapos naka 5 volt siya na yung pang charger ng cellphone.
Doon nakakabit.
No, tapos i-daisy chain natin lahat. Pero for something like yung Corsair kasi may sariling mundo yun eh.
Yeah.
Yung mga baka yung mga simple na lang like yung Deepcool or
Gusto ko parang like,
Cooler
you can actually see all of the brands we carry na RGB wall. And then, so makita mo talaga, mahal si Corsair, but after you see the LL120 or the QL120, kita mo talaga yung difference, di ba? I mean, RGB, nasa na ba si ITX Addict? RGB Addict din yan si ITX Addict eh. But, I mean, to be fair, there are expensive brands, but once you see the difference, palitan ko ng Xerox. once you see the difference, like yung QL. I mean, when you see the QL,
Panalo.
Ganda nung brightness, ganda nung yung fan,
yung grain, yung granular control nakaano ako ngayon eh. QL ba to ML? Basta yung something else.
May ring ba yan? Pag may ring yan, QL yan.
So meron siya doon tapos meron siya sa gitna.
QL yan.
QL yun. QL.
So, di ba parang everybody's like, RGB, pang ano lang yan or whatever. But aesthetically, it is nice and some brands, sulit. I mean, yun nga, maganda yung you get what you pay for. The NCXT fans, I also quite like. Even the Deepcool CF120 Plus, not that expensive compared to some of the others. Pero maganda yung cutouts ng CF120. They're quite nice for what you get. So yun, kung may RGB wall tayo, then yun nga, as Rocky pointed out, we would need, it wouldn't do it justice kung naka-fixed static lang siya na cycle or something for some of the fans. Dapat, but yun nga, at the same time, I don't want to vote a computer for each brand, diba, or something. Parang grabe naman yun.
Hingi tayo kay
Corsair, like NZXT, Popular Master.
Ay, display namin yung
baka kasi, hindi pa ba tayo nandun sa point na pwede na tayo manghingi na, ay pare.
Even before, makapal na mukha ako, humingi ako kahit small time shop lang tayo.
Ayaw nila.
Unfair si NZXT. Si NZXT meron. They sent us, they never got it back. The Asus monitor that we're using in the shop, they sent it, they never got it back. Yung thank you natin, I hope nakalimutan na nila yun. Hindi na pabalik yun. So, ano naman, we've done that. Medyo
Eh,
makapal na rin mukha natin. Oo.
eh,
Pero to be fair, I mean, gamit talaga natin sa shop. So when customers come in, they see the
yeah,
monitors,
that's
they
what they
see
see.
ano.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
oo, 'di ba? Parang kita naman yung quality din nung kumbaga functional display eh. I mean, it's not just
May
nakatambak lang doon na ano.
may worth yung pag-iwan nila.
Yeah, oo. Especially the Asus monitor, that's still a
no.
good monitor, ah. Parang very sharp
Kahit
pa rin
hanggang
yung ano.
ngayon, sir, may mga ano pa rin, nako-convince pa rin yung monitor na yun.
Pag nakita nila yun na, maganda pala tong ano, sulit naman. But wag na natin i-ano kasi baka maalala pa ng mga brands tapos ano.
Ako nga pala, no?
Mas
Dear
shit.
Anton.
Yeah.
Pakibalik ang monitor.
Please send back. Actually, just
Amin
a
na
side
yun.
note, yung nagbigay, yung NGXT representative na nagpadala ng items, wala na siya doon. So feeling ko nakalimutan na nila yun. But
Yeah.
Alright.
he's actually with Deepcool now. So we've continued the relationship. So
Ah,
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
get so many Deepcool stuff. Yeah.
conflict of
So ano.
interest. Okay.
People number one.
But so we're very appreciative to particular brands. And yun nga, as you stay longer in the industry, you get to know the same people. Parang yun, same lang naman eh. So it's been good so far. Sige, from Rowell, how to troubleshoot GPU not booting up? Teka. PC boots when the GPU is not installed. So I assume may integrated graphics yung CPU. But with GPU, no power. Fans on GPU are working.
Yun,
Wait
kailangan mo
let
nung
me
ano,
go.
Wow.
kailangan mo palitan. I mean, kailangan mo nung tumingin ng ibang GPU.
Pair.
Just to test, yeah.
Patatest. Oo.
Kasi,
And,
kasi
test mo na rin sa ibang
970,
ano. Test mo
yeah,
na rin
yun.
sa ibang, I mean, your GPU, test it in another
Kaya
PC.
yun yung unfortunate dito sa ganito kasi yun nga yung GPU, it's one big thing and one major thing dun sa PC, di ba? So, you really can't troubleshoot yung GPU unless driver issues yan. Pero kapag kayang ganyan na hindi na sumisindi, yung ang recourse mo na lang talaga, yun nga, hanap ka ng PC, tas na
Test
iba,
mo dun.
tas
Yeah.
test mo doon. Kasi kung hindi, edi okay. I mean, kung alam mo na yung GPU may problem.
Although, Moniker pointed out na baka sa BIOS setting, naka-default to the integrated graphics.
Hindi, pero kahit, sige, yeah, that's
Yeah,
also
pwede
true.
consider.
Pero, ayun nga if hindi niya alam
Uncommon.
yun,
Ba't
medyo
nagbago yung
parang,
setting?
oo parang ibig sabihin hindi niya rin alam siguro puntahan yun.
I've
Kaya,
actually never monkeyed around with that particular setting.
yeah. Yun nga,
I haven't seen it
and ano
clear.
yun, it's quite hard to change
Get
kasi
to that
hindi mo
layer.
talaga yun babaguhin unless may alam mo yung ginagawa mo talaga. Actually ako nga, hindi ko alam kung saan yung sa ano
Or
sa bahay. Hindi ko pa
what if
nakikita yun.
what if ipa-check niya sa hardware sugar?
Ah, galing
oo.
nga. Ang galing
Okay,
Ang galing
We do actually have test benches. And ano,
Yeah, check
okay.
niyan sa amin. Ayan si
Oo.
Jay.
Layup yun, layup.
Ay, may kakilala akong master niya na yung pagpalit-palit ng integrated graphics na yun.
Nasisira na ba si Ken sa shop na, ano? Diagnostic na naman.
Sa PC niya. Pabili lang siya ng bagong graphics.
Sa kanya. Oo nga.
Alam niya.
Sige, wait. GPU is not installed. PC boots, GPU not installed. But the GPU, no power. Fans, GPU are working. Could also be the PCIe slot of the motherboard.
Yeah,
Why don't you try a different slot? Pwede naman yun eh, kahit mabagal lang just to see kung ano.
Yeah.
It's that particular slot. But yun, yeah, there are several kumbaga diagnostics na talaga yun. You need preferably you have an extra GPU that you can try, preferably you have an extra system that you can swap parts around.
Hindi na siya yung parang ganun-ganun na troubleshoot na gagawin ko to, tapos ganyan. Hindi, talagang palit-palit na ng parts yan pag ano.
Ano yan, trial and error na yun na
Yeah.
best guess, execute, di pa rin gumana, next best guess.
May nagtatanong kanina na undervolting pero ang layo niya na eh. So, sorry.
Post mo na sa forum. Ayan, marami namang sasagot dun sa forum.
Hindi ko na makikita siya eh.
Ian Cuevas. I miss my midlife crisis RGB. I wasn't a big RGB fan, but I have minimal RGB at mine now. I can appreciate it. It's it adds something. um,
Naku, may dead air.
Oo nga, this is
Hinahanap
the
ko din. Hinahanap ko rin yung sa undervolt. Na-curious nga rin ako
Kasi
dun.
ang ano lang naman yan, the pros and cons ng undervolting eh.
Ayan, sige, sagutin natin.
Ayun. So yung
Hinahanap ko rin.
halos walang con yung undervolting unless mali yung gagawin mo. So if tama, yun lang yung parang, well, yun yung parang yung caveat niya sa undervolting. You have to exactly know kung ano yung ginagawa mo and ano yung values na dapat. Kasi undervolting means ano eh, um,
you're
nira-run mo yung
fading.
clocks,
Yeah.
yeah, nira-run mo yung clocks ng CPU mo or like ng GPU for example, pero bababaan mo yung voltage niya. So parang counterintuitive, 'di ba? Pero by doing that kasi binababa mo yung power consumption niya at saka yung overall na heat na ipo-produce niya. And yung performance kasi ano siya eh, tied siya dun sa heat nung heat dissipation nung part mo. So the lower the heat, mas maganda yung performance niya. So, parang medyo counterintuitive 'no. So, bababaan ko yung voltage, tapos at the same time tataas yung performance niya. Pero with the right combination nga nung values na tama, yun talaga yung nangyayari. Yan.
Trial and error 'yun, matagal na
Hmm.
matagal na
Yeah.
Tsaka
Oo.
hindi lang siya basta trial and error na ano, kasi medyo dangerous yun, eh.
yan
So,
sisirain din
talagang
yung ano nun.
ire-research mo ano na ba yung mga proven na values dun sa combination nung part mo. Halimbawa, motherboard mo and CPU. Tapos si PSU mo ganito. Ano na yung mga
Ayan.
proven na values nila. Pero yun, as with overclocking nga, ayun nga, very minimal na steps yung sinasabi ni Jay na ita-trial and error mo. So, as in mga 0.5 na voltage differences. Ira-run mo, isa-stress test mo yung PC mo. Pagka hindi nag-crash, sige,
Yun na yun.
okay, i-push mo pa, i-push hanggang sa mag-crash siya, tapos babalik ka dun sa ano. It's a very involved na process eh. Pero it's very worth it kasi talagang gaganda yung performance ng PC mo. Tapos, ayun pa yung sinasabi natin yung longevity, whatever, di ba? Ayun, talagang may effect yun dun sa
Matagal.
overall na lifespan ng PC mo.
Sabi ni Tenji Zero, trial and error undervolting. Pwede ka rin tumingin sa settings. So yeah, so kung ano pala, kung makaka-research ka ng values, yun. Kung may values, then you can play around with it. Kung kaya pang babaan yung voltage nang hindi nagka-crash, mas maganda. Kasi hindi mainit yun.
Yeah, basically your goal is to have the least amount or least figure of
Possible.
voltage of feeding into your CPU. Na it's still stable, na you get better performance.
Ang tagal yun, as in sobrang tagal
Yeah.
na process nun. As in,
Oo.
kailangan gusto mo yung yung ginagawa mo.
So,
Kailangan
medyo
nag-e-enjoy ka dun para talagang
medyo
magawa mo
masikista
siya.
na yung mga ganyan eh. I mean, it's
Yeah. As
very,
in,
yeah.
matagal na matagal siya.
Yeah.
Yung sa akin ganun, as in talagang buwan ko siyang talagang tinetest.
Kerwin from YouTube, any thoughts on the Steel Legend, ASRock Steel Legend? This is a motherboard that di naman a lot, but we do get from time to time, requests. Sometimes we carry it, sometimes we don't. Pero sikat siya. It's okay. We've sold a number. Relatively, I can't remember kung may bumalik ba or if ever one or two, which is in the margin of error. I mean, yun nga, nothing is ever perfect. ASRock, though, we don't carry it on a regular basis kasi parang yung ASRock, their other series, hindi yung Steel Legend, parang medyo iffy eh. Like they had a B550 na medyo lower tier. Yung medyo katapat niya yung B550M DS3H ni Gigabyte and yung BF B550M Pro VDH ni MSI. So around that tier, we used to carry something like that from ASRock, pero medyo unstable eh. We would get people coming in, we would have to update the BIOS, find a particular BIOS, hindi yung pinaka-updated na stable siya. We had ITX Mobos also from ASRock that medyo, they gave us headaches kasi yun nga, unstable yung systems. So the Steel Legend in particular, and again, may multiple Steel Legends. May B550 Steel Legend, I think may X570. It's an aesthetic, I mean, that spans
white.
several, yeah, oh.
Ayun yung
Yung parang
isa sa mga cheap na white kung ano.
yeah, siya,
Yeah, yeah. Tama,
oh.
tama.
But to be fair, the ones that we've handled, okay naman, in particular na Steel Legend. But do take into consideration na, yun nga, multiple chipsets yun eh. And
Yeah.
we haven't, the most, usually yung nabenta namin yung B550 na Steel Legend. I think maybe one or two lang na X570. Actually, I can't even remember if we've sold an X570 Steel Legend. What and then just another thing about Astrak Mobos, I love the design of their Tai Chi. May mga high-end
Mm.
mobos sila na sobrang ganda. Aesthetically lang Like I would even go kung maganda ba yung kulay ng VRMs or something. But yung overall look ng Tai Chi board sila, sobrang ganda. But we haven't used them in sufficient numbers for me to be able to comment na yun nga, okay ba yung quality, like stable ba yung system. Although we did use yung kay ano, yung 400k build natin. Tai Chi yun eh.
Yeah, Tai
Tai
Chi,
Chi,
Razer.
Razer Tai Chi.
Razer na ASRock. And to be fair, that was a hell of a build. The boys, the guys, sorry, the tech staff, including Ren. Sorry, I didn't mean to be gender insensitive. um,
Ay,
yeah,
2022 na Ba yan?
matanda, matanda na ako eh, okay. Hindi
Ay.
naman sa mga day, mga ganun. um, the tech staff did everybody did a really good job on that build. It was a difficult build, but it hasn't come back to us. So I assume the board is still good. The ASRock was XY70, no?
X570 sir na Tai Chi,
Na
Razer Tai
Tai
Chi.
Chi, a Razer Tai Chi. Oo.
Nakakonect pa
So,
yung Philips dun na ano.
yeah, yung Philips
So,
Hue, and then um, yeah, that was a real. Well, kayo yung na-stress doon, no?
Cancel, cancel ka na
eh,
daw.
Ah,
Cancel ka na daw.
ano, sabi ko lang naman na ano. Sabi ko lang naman na ano.
oh no!
Pag kinancel niyo si Sir Anton, mawawala rin hardware
Si
super.
Saida, grabe, tawan-tawa ako dito. No,
Ah,
Sota.
yung nag-roast. Grabe yung mga comment nito. Sobrang sakit.
Panalo.
Babalikan ko nga yung roast
Yeah, yeah.
video. I'll
Yeah,
watch it. Pero 2 hours kasi siya eh. Gawa na
yeah.
lang kayo ng highlights.
Yun nga
Video na,
I was gonna say nga
Oo.
na include natin yun. Pero
Yeah.
I was gonna say yung ano rin, yung speaking from experience, yung ASRock Steel Legend na motherboard, ang tagal niya mag-boot. Parang meron kang plus 6 seconds.
Bakit?
Yung hindi ko alam eh. As in, yung nagpalit ako ng motherboard eh. So, yung motherboard ko ngayon, Aorus na. And everything else the same. Yung boot times ko ngayon, may tingnan natin kung ano ang aking boot times. Wait lang.
Si Rocky the Programmer is the kind of guy that has good times recorded and ano. Shit.
Ayun. Okay, yung last BIOS time ko daw is 8 seconds ngayon. Sa ASRock Steel Legend with the exact same na OS and parts, 21 seconds.
Layo
Oh,
Baka
takas, di ba?
naman,
ba?
hindi ka naka-fast boot. Alright? BIOS, settings.
Naka yun, as in,
Yung
ganun,
default whatever.
same na default settings.
Yeah.
Kaya yun, may ano. Pero yun lang yung masasabi kong masama sa kanya. Parang everything else, okay naman.
I wonder why.
Yun nga weird eh. Tapos ayoko pa nung font nung BIOS niya.
Oh, goddamn. Wag mo na. Yun na yun. The
Light
worst.
blue.
Sobrang lalim mo na, pare.
Pero yan, maganda nga yung gigabyte niya. Na Aorus.
The Gigabyte boards, in particular, I quite like.
Ganda sila. Yeah.
Lazy Cable Manager, sup? The TV on my right is a super old LG, more than 5 years old na to. Like, di pa ako kasal. Like, so I have 2 kids already. I think I've been married for 5 years more or something. So, bago pa to, before I got married. But and then I'm only using it recently, like the past 3 months or so as a fourth display. Pero okay siya. Never pa siya nag-burn in. I don't think that happens anymore to even old. Basta LCD displays, di na ata for the youngins in the audience. Burn in used to happen with CRT, yung cathode ray tube monitors na. Kaya may screensaver, literally screensaver siya. May gagalaw on screen kasi if you kept something static on that screen for too long, di mo na matanggal. Magba-burn in na siya on screen. But this one is super old and I have kept it for hours on kasi usually naka-Excel file yun or something. And never pa siya nag-burn in. So quite good. Except you can't see it on screen. But even before na ginamit ko sa display, may mas there's a lighter part here sa section na to. So may defect na talaga siya
Lini
even before. Di
linisin
ko
niyo
na
lang
ata
'yan.
maayos eh. Ha?
Lilinisin niyo lang.
Hindi. I think na parang you're supposed to knock on it or something pero sinubukan ko na yun eh.
Yeah.
Ayaw talaga eh. Parang may na-stuck at a lighter lumen or so. I don't know. But that's why
Yun
we
din
don't use it as a TV anymore. But as a
Yeah.
display, as a data display, um, not bad. Pretty good.
yun din yung problem ng OLED eh. Like for
Yeah.
such a long time kaya hindi siya nagkaroon ng sobrang laking, anong tawag dun, adaptation.
Following.
Yeah, kasi yun nga, yung OLED may talagang burn-in issue siya.
Pero it's supposed to be really good, di ba? I mean,
Yeah.
the image
Yeah,
quality.
siya yung pinaka-crisp ngayon. Kaya yung mga bagong OLED ngayon which is like sobrang mahal. Tapos nagiging high refresh rate na din. Ayun, ganda na nila. Yeah, may plasma TV pa kami hanggang ngayon.
Buhay pa.
Oo, buhay pa. Yun din,
Alright.
may burn-in din yung plasma.
Before I forget, the last one I promised our sponsor. To be fair,
Cool.
medyo
Yun ang gusto ko. Alam ko na SSD yun. Alam ko na 3 gigabytes per second yung
No, I need my eye candy.
Yeah.
Ganun dapat!
Eye candy. I want eye candy. Actually, we should have more eye candy sa Hardware Sugar videos.
Yeah.
Our
Tsaka
current
paano naman yung
poster,
mga lady gamers natin? Bakit babae yung nandun?
di pwede rin naman eye candy na guys so para inclusive. Di ba?
Si
Inclusive
Optimum
naman tayo eh.
Dapat si Optimum Tech i-photoshop nila doon.
Matagal ka nagsa-search kay Optimum Tech ka. Second time na
Tayo, excuse me. When I brought it up,
dinamay mo pa ako. Dinamay mo pa ako. Is he nag-guns on that guy? Grabe eh. Grabe.
Yung ano niya, yung hairline niya. Then
Gupit.
You know, this is the only female on our panel that has no comment at all about Optimum. Yung mga guys yun nag-ano.
Crush na yun. Crush niya rin yun. Gusto ko gusto niya yung boses.
Ren approved ba yan? Ren approved ba si...
Very deep daw yung boses.
Di ba? Lalim pa ng boses.
Alin yun?
Si Optimum Tech.
ITX addict.
Yeah, sir.
Di ba?
Grabe.
Thumbs up.
Grabe, the words. Grabe.
Grabe, like, I could listen to him na, kahit di ko siya panoorin, like, background music.
ASMR.
Grabe.
parang I felt as a man, parang I felt objectified na grabe naman. Yung boses pa lang, ano na. I kind of agree with Moniker na I do like Dimitri's Dimitri has very soft eyes. They're very appealing also.
Yeah, pero ayoko nung accent niya eh.
Oh, I like his accent. You shut up.
Para ako niloloko.
Bakit?
Wala lang. Para I just don't trust Germans. Kasi the last time we trusted them eh.
Okay. Bye, Rocky the Programmer.
Huwag ka na babalik.
In the doghouse ka muna. Pero Russian accent yun, Russian. But not that helps things considering the thing in the Ukraine. Pero ano. Si Dave 2D, then I don't see the appeal actually. Yun, ano. I like how now we're talking about about guy tech YouTubers. Yung si Dave 2D, yun hindi ka masyado makita yung appeal.
Hindi niyo masyado makita yun nga yung pinakakamukha niyo, sir.
Well.
Yun yung pinaka-vibe niyo eh, si Dave 2D.
No, si Dave 2D masyadong chill eh. I think when I present, parang I'm like all over the place eh. Parang, kita mo to? Dave 2D parang never na-excite eh. Parang, kita mo tong cellphone na to? It's blue. And let's flip the side. I mean, parang ganun siya. Very, very chill, very relaxed. Pero, hindi ko masyado. Pero gusto ko si Hardware Canucks. I do kind of agree with that. Ayaw ni Sir Anton ng Asian. Okay, grabe na to, guys.
Para
Chill, chill.
Let's not go down this rabbit hole. um, yung problema kasi naubusan na tayo ng tech questions eh. Kaya ano yun nga, nandito na tayo ngayon sa sa chismisan na lang about ano eh.
tingin tayo dun sa ano.
Who has a question? Although my mark now was around 8 o'clock, so we're doing pretty well. Because at a certain point, my daughter's just gonna start barging in here.
Yun na yung cue to end the stream.
And then parang like last night, kasi she woke me up at 4. She woke me up. The sun wasn't up yet. When I finally got her back to sleep, the sun was up now. So it's terrible, terrible night. So if you notice like the cadence of our videos, they're kind of rushed at the end of the month kasi nag-aabot talaga tayo nung videos that we need for our sponsors and things like that. And a lot of that also is my fault kasi with the new kid, it's been quite hard to juggle everything, to be honest. So hopefully in the next months, as the kid gets older, we can go back to a more relaxed pace. And of course, and Rocky, my brother, was away, so he also wasn't making videos. Rocky, the programmer, was very busy on the redesign of the back end, so he also wasn't making videos. Now the ball is in my court to do the testing. So sobrang si Rocky the programmer for months, man, for months. Nasa na ba yung back end natin, guys? Nasa yung back end. Ang hirap and then palagi naman sinasabi niya ako ng programmer na, oh, sir, next week. Ilang next week na?
Hindi kasi, pagka dumadating na dun sa deadline, okay na to. And then, may bug na naman. Lalabas na naman.
Wag na yung
talagang patong-patong.
Yeah, but now the ball is in my court to test it properly. So, yeah, so that's on me. So a lot of stuff has been going on. That's why sometimes I feel like our YouTube videos are a bit rushed a little bit. That's also my fault yun nga kasi I don't get to research on them as much. Like the brand video, like Jay can tell you. So it's just like 2 hours of me just talking in the shop, like no notes or anything. Naubusan ako ng laway at the end of it. But that video worked out well, in fairness, thanks to the editing.
Hey.
Editing was
Naka-altab siya sir eh. Kaya
pinapanood niya si
Optimum.
Nasa Optimum Tech na yan.
Kaya siya nag-glaze over na yung mata niya. Parang are we still live? Nagsisilip pa tayo. Ito naman, tech question. Tanong lang po, gaano po kalaki yung difference ng Gen 4 GPU and you put it in the PCIe Gen 3 compared to sa PCIe Gen 4? I think Rocky the Programmer, you have thoughts about this?
Yung PCIe Gen 3, 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes per second siya sa X16. While yung PCIe Gen 4, 16 gigabytes per second. So, doble.
Basically doubles the bandwidth.
Pero, ang problem kasi nun, yung mga kakaunting GPU lang na nag-fully saturate ng bandwidth ng PCIe Gen 4, yung mga pinakamataas na 3080 Ti, pataas. Actually, yung 3070 Ti halos nandun na rin. Pero, ano pa rin yun eh. Parang, makaka-operate pa rin siya sa Gen 3. Kaya, yun.
I mean, it's easy to say na yung...
Pero yun nga, parang ano rin, parang, ayun nga, since nandun yung available na power, why not use it?
But it's kind of like, it's all theoretical eh. Parang it's like, ito yung X versus Y and Y is like, how many times faster. Pero nagagamit pa talaga yung bandwidth.
Yeah. Kasi yun nga, yun din yung parang problem. Kasi with itong mga spec sheet na to, ang gumagawa ng mga spec sheet, mga engineers eh. So, sa mundo nila, may nagmamatter yun talaga kasi yun yun eh, as in metric na natetest talaga nila eh.
Diba? It's a pissing contest. Yeah, it's like, 20 instead of 10, di ba? Parang ganun.
Yeah, tsaka yung talagang the lengths that they go through para madoble yung bandwidth na yun. As in, sobrang laking pera and effort talaga. Pero in the real world, yun yung problem. Yung mga brands, ginagamit yung engineering terms doon sa real world.
Marketing terms.
Nakakalito yun.
Yeah. Yep. in the real world, we just want those things like the colorful motherboard. So you got the girl, you got the motherboard. So you don't, mas specs
Or
na yan.
girl or
Ano.
guy.
Yeah, okay, let's be inclusive. Okay. Peace naman nun. Peace naman nun. But, like, that's also my thing with NVMe na PCIe 4. Like, sobrang mahal like yung Samsung 980 Pro compared to the other NVMe's na hindi naman PCIe 4. But like, even gamers like has a video a year ago saying na real world applications, yes, of course there's a difference, but do you really need to pony up that much more for like a 5% gain, for a 10% gain?
Yeah.
So it's maganda kasi pakinggan yung numbers na 2 times the speed or something. But in the real world, yun
Pero
nga,
how
it's
much of
a lot
that
of
do you
factors.
use?
Yes, there are a
Yeah.
lot of factors involved. Kaiser says na around 10% difference depending on the GPU between PCIe 3 and PCIe 4.
Yeah,
To be honest,
depending on the GPU and yung usage. Kasi kung
and like,
halimbawa
yeah.
naglaro ka ng Core Keeper doon.
Pixels.
Walang pixels lang yun, di ba? Wala ano. Parang hindi ka rin nag-benefit dun sa extra na speed na yun. Pero syempre kung ako bibili ako, gagastos ako ng 40k. Gusto ko yung pinakamadaming GBS. Kahit di ko na-intindihan yun.
To be fair, medyo ganun din. I mean, I'm thinking, do I need the speed? I might not need the speed, but I might need it, diba? Ganun din sa PS2 eh. 750 watts, but I might mind. But the 4000 series might need 850 watts. Diba? Parang may ganun din na factor na in the future, I might need it. And, diba? So, nandun din yun eh. Yung FOMO, it's fear of missing out, diba?
Fear of missing out.
I mean, that's real. That's a legit consideration. Kaiser, I wish, man. I don't know lang where we could get founders na from a legit supplier na kung magka-problema may RMA. But the only founders I ever saw was when a customer brought it into the shop. Yung dual
Yeah,
GPU
dual 3090, yes, sir.
na Lian O11, di ba? Yung ano? Yung
XL.
XL, yeah. So the only time I've actually ever saw a founders edition in real life. I guess we can wrap it up. Although there was I do want to review like the 6000 series of AMD. I haven't been following the news about them so much.
May review na tayo ng 6600 eh.
Ikaw ba yun? Ikaw yun eh, di ba? Yeah.
Pero from way back pa.
King of 1080p, I think is the yeah.
Thumbnail pero hindi.
So, what's happening next week at Wednesday? Yung SOTA?
Yung
part
no,
two.
sa August 10 yung part 2 nung rig roast.
Okay, you're doing a special SOTA kasi usually every 2 weeks kayo, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Opo. Bali ito na yung ang napag-desisyonan kasi nung chat kasi talagang pinwersa kami at gunpoint eh. So dun sa nung naka 15 na kami, kumuha na kami ng winner dun. Ng winner tsaka ng loser. Tapos kukuha kami ulit ng winner tsaka loser dun sa next.
Sa batch 2.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, sa prize.
Thank you, Hardware Sugar.
Thank you.
Shout out Hardware Sugar.
Tapos yung deal doon, yung sa pangalawang worst the build, ako daw yung maglilinis. So,
actually may nagbanggit nga. Si Saidig.
Saidag. Tropa ni Ram.
Kanina nandito si yung nanalo, si Gabriel.
Nandiyan siya?
Oo. Nandito siya kanina eh. Pero, ayun. Siya yung nanalo.
Si Fluke. Si Fluke.
Yeah, si Fluke.
To be honest, Moniker, like yung biglang may biglang may reward yung mga shirts. I'm like, who authorized this? Nobody told me about But and it's legit. I'm hearing about
Hindi. Ang ano kasi, kung hindi kayo papayag, edi bibiling ko na lang. Tapos
wow. Galante.
Wow, shout out Maki,
Sa'yo, Kaiser, mabait ako eh.
Ako
Mahal ko ang aking mga anak. Pero ngayon, hindi na pwede mag-no si sir kasi,
aware na siya.
wag na sir.
Panindigan, ha? Iyan mo na yan, ha?
Hindi ko. Kaka-cancel ko to.
Gulat ako eh. Although, but on a serious note, I do trust the staff enough na hindi ko na sila sinesensor. I mean, I don't know what they say on the live streams. I don't know what they're promising you guys. But I just
House and lot.
Or parang Mr. Beast style na 10 minutes in the store tapos lahat na makuha mo doon sa'yo na I don't know, some shit. I don't know what you guys are telling people. But,
Pinakamatagal na hahawak sa 3080 na
yes,
magsi-stay.
Yun, dyan mapupunta sa kanya yung GPU.
Ito
Pwede
yun,
yun.
hindi na yun gaganon si Ken. Baka nandun na yun. Ganun, pagkain.
Kahit mga
Oo nga,
isang
sir,
linggo
kung
siya
sa,
nandun.
sa August 10, sali kayo.
Sa, you, like, kasama sa rating? Like, ano, like,
Opo, opo.
ano?
Yung magro-roast.
What time? Like, 8:30, di ba? Kasi
Sige,
unfair,
kung,
like,
kung anong gusto nyo, kung anong gusto nyo time, kung kailan pinaka-available kayo.
unfair, like, if I duck out, like, if I'm there for the first, like, 5 or 10 rigs and then I have to leave, di ba? Parang ganon. Itatry ko na, ano, I'll run it by the missus because, to be honest,
Okay.
it's very tense when, like, yeah, oh, yeah. Optimum check, ganun, oh, whatever you say, whatever you say. Mahirap na. It's very difficult to balance everything. Ano to? Like the last two gaming streams, my daughter came in, di ba? So ano. Pero yung pangarap ko for my daughter, mga 5 years old, tapos magga-game stream kami pareho.
Yeah, konti na lang yun.
Yan.
Konti na lang,
Ilang years na lang, sir? Ilang years na lang?
3 pa, 3.
Alam.
Pero
Alam ni
malapit
sir.
na. Alam ko naman. So I figure like 90% of the audience will be pedophiles and 10% will be for me. So,
Oh my
yung nangyari na. It's the
Okay,
internet,
that's
right?
it, guys. Thank you for watching.
on that
ko kaya.
that note, I mean, let's be honest, okay? It's the internet, you know. Eh, tayo nga yung nagpo-push ng waifus, tapos pala yung nandun si ano, yung dun sa Spy Family. Si Anya from Spy Family. Who is not of age, okay? So,
Hindi namin yun alam, sir.
Bakit?
Hindi namin yun alam.
Di sila anime fans, sir.
Okay. I haven't watched the
Hindi kami
season.
pedophile kasi.
Yun lang yun.
Si Ren naka-altab na naman kay Optimum.
Iba na yung
Sumusundot.
experience niya.
Iba na, sa iba nakatingin.
Alright. On that note, thank you for joining us for another Pwede Magtanong. I think we did some legit tech questions naman. Although yun nga, as time goes on, like the other, when we first started this, ano, di ba? Oh, like, ang daming talaga mga legit. Although, kasi screen ko talaga yun eh. So we had like, baka we should go back to that a little bit para...
Ay, sir, ayun daw. Ano daw yung monitor na recommend nyo?
Si CEO. 165 hertz, 11 to 14K. I think we have a tough. Teka, let me check.
Ito, sir.
17K yata, yun eh.
17K ba yun? Ay, yung MSI.
Yung MSI, yung 24, yung Artemis.
Di ba? Yung Artemis, yeah.
14150
that's
165 din to, sir. Yeah. 1080p.
1080p though, and pre-sync. So, soft dances with waifus. I always enjoy your IG posts. I believe that's you. Gosh, shit, I've lost my mouse again. Ayun. Alam mo yung, ever since itong 4 screen na to, sobrang lifesaver yung double tap left control para mag-zoom in sa where the mouse is. Sobrang lifesaver. Grabe. I've only started using that recently. The Artemis, but yun nga, it depends. Are you looking for 1080p or 1440p? Ako kasi, yun, if you've watched our latest monitor video, may story gamer and may shooter gamer, but I'm more of a story gamer eh. So I really look for at least 2K monitor. The monitor I'm using now, we actually used to sell in the shop. It's a BenQ. Yan yung go-to recommendation ko for 2K kasi I can honestly say no okay siya kasi that's my primary monitor. Unfortunately, they've been sold out for quite a while. I've been trying to restock them and wala. So I'm still waiting to restock this particular one, the BenQ EX2780Q ata. I hear you, Kaiser. And these are on all the time. But buti nga pinapatay ko pa when I sleep eh. But I figure it's a work-related expense because I really do need all of the monitors to monitor the Slack, to monitor the PC builder we have, to monitor the Excel file. Sobrang laki
to play Halo.
I wish. I have, last time I played was the stream, like last month pa. But nasa Halo 4 na ako. So finally, isa na lang. Then, On that note, Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you to our panel. Thank you for having me on SOTA.
Sota Redux.
Yeah, sorry. Uh, and good night, everybody. Stay safe. That's yesterday pala was the highest in February, mga 4,000 cases. So please do keep safe. And have a good weekend. Bye.